Okay, and make sure I'm sharing the screen. Share my screen, and you should see my mind map for today. Can you see my mind map for today?
Yes.
Good. Okay, cool. Thank you for confirming. Now we can crack on. Okay. So today we're looking at creative ideas and brainstorming. So we're just going to be using AI today to try and get some ideas and brainstorming. And interestingly, at last night's meetup in Boozos, that was one of the things that came up, was that there was two girls wanting to do a partnership together, and they wanted to create multiple businesses, and they were still at the creative ideas and brainstorming concept. They didn't really know exactly what they were trying to achieve yet. So this could come in useful for them. We didn't cover this last night, but that's what we could do with this. So as you and I know already, ChatGPT can come up with all sorts of clever things if we ask it properly. So it's down to our prompts, really. Idea generation. So whether you're working on a story or a marketing campaign, you can generate a wide range of ideas, and just simply providing a brief description of the project, the AI can produce numerous suggestions to spark your creativity. So I actually just thought what I'll do is I'll copy paste some of these examples and I'll just put it into ChatGPT and see what comes up. Send a message. Here we go. Okay, I need some ideas for a new eco-friendly product used in everyday life. So let's see what it comes up with. Please provide at least 5 suggestions. Okay. So a solar-powered phone charger. I don't think that's very new, but okay. There's nothing new about that, I don't think. It's been around for a long time. I toured Europe in my camper van. I actually left Scotland in 2008 in my camper van, and that solar-powered phone chargers were available back then. I actually put a full-size solar panel on the roof of the camper van back then, 2008. And the phone chargers then, these little gadgets, are actually good enough for a phone, but they're not powerful enough for anything beyond that in terms of other electricity gadgets I discovered. Biodegradable toothbrush, yeah, okay. These are not new. People have been creating biodegradable products such as bamboo, or alternatives to plastics. I mean, it makes sense. I think a lot of people are really into alternatives to plastics now, but maybe bamboo is not the right way. I don't know, maybe it's much more expensive. I don't think you make much profit on a biodegradable toothbrush, but there's certainly more and more people getting switched onto it now. Eco-friendly food wraps. Oh yeah, definitely. I think if we go into any supermarket, they just are constantly using plastic to wrap your foods. So yeah, we can have things like natural beeswax or plant-based. That makes a lot of sense, I think. Especially if it naturally decomposes instead of being plastics, which doesn't naturally decompose. A water-saving shower head. Invent a water-efficient shower head that incorporates innovative technologies to reduce water consumption. Water consumption, okay. Not quite sure how it could do that, but okay. Makes sense. Recycled plastics, I guess. A stylish backpack made from recycled. Yeah, I think there's a lot of, not just a backpack, it doesn't have to be a backpack, but I think there's a lot of potential for recycled bottles. If we're doing it properly. I think it's expensive for the equipment, but there are some countries, I believe Sweden actually buys plastics now there from other countries' landfills. So they have such an effective recycling PET system that they're actually buying the plastics from other countries' landfills. So yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there. And in fact, I know in Playa del Carmen, they're actually recycling the bottles and making bricks with them. So that's quite interesting as well, how they're doing that. They're actually filling them with sand, I think, filling the bottles, making them solid, rock solid, and making bricks with them. So yeah,
That I did not know. I
yeah,
didn't
it's
know that one.
cool that they can
Mike,
do that. Yes.
can you ask
Yeah.
ChatGPT the same question, but
Yeah.
with like ask it for like $100 or maximum startup cost? Like I just wonder, like these are really intricate things
Okay.
that would take, or like startup cost and like really quick to produce. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if we're talking about, yeah, all these other ideas are going to take time for development.
And then I'll say what um, alternative project might cost less. Um, see how it comes up. So the startup costs and speed of production is the first thing I asked for each of these. Can vary significantly depending on factors like scale, complexity, location, and sourcing. Okay. So let's see what it's saying. Speed of production, once it's finalized, speed of production can be relatively fast, depending on the availability of materials. I don't see costs. Costs may include research and development, prototyping, materials sourcing. Yeah, okay. Biodegradable toothbrush startup costs may involve design, material sourcing, mold creation, setup. Yeah. Speed of production can be relatively fast if the manufacturing process is straightforward. Eco-friendly food wraps may involve material sourcing, developing the right wax formulation. Costs could be moderate to high, depending on the complexity. Once it's set up, the production speed can be reasonably fast. Water-saving shower head. Okay, let's see what it says. The cost could be moderate, especially if technology is not overly complex. Once it's finalized, production line is established, the speed of production can be relatively fast. Startup costs for producing backpacks may include collecting and sourcing recycled materials, designing the backpack, setting up manufacturing. Costs could be moderate to high. Speed of production can vary based on the complexity of the backpack design and efficiency of the product line. Alternative that might cost less and become effective faster could be creating eco-friendly reusable shopping bags. Startup costs could be relatively low as the materials such as organic cotton or recycled fabrics are often readily available and affordable. The speed of production can be relatively fast, especially if you collaborate with local sewing facilities or manufacturers experienced in bag production. Reusable shopping bags are in high demand, and by promoting their use, you can effectively reduce single-use plastic bag waste and encourage sustainable. That was a great question you just asked there, because this came up with a brand new alternative project that is actually much more likely to proceed with, I think. Yeah, great
Right.
question. Thank you for that input. Are you going to start this instead?
So,
Eco-friendly, reusable shopping
no.
bags. I think, yeah, there's definitely space for that. We could start that in Playa del Carmen quite happily and employ the locals.
For
They would love
sure.
that. Good for
Indeed.
you. I'm
Indeed.
pleased. Any other questions before we move on?
No, not at this juncture.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Expanding on concepts. Okay. If you've got an idea, a basic concept or idea, ChatGPT can help you to expand by providing additional details, potential directions or sub-themes. By exploring these different facets, you can gain a deeper understanding. Okay, so let's see what this question is. I've got an idea for a mobile app that helps people reduce food waste. Okay, let's try that one. That in here. Can you provide more details and features that could be included in the app? An app that helps people reduce food waste is an excellent idea as it addresses a critical environmental and social issue. food inventory management. Users can put items that they have in their pantry, fridge, freezer into the app. The app keeps track of the expiration dates for each item and sends notifications. Okay, it also suggests recipes based on the ingredients. Shopping list and smart purchasing. Users can create a shopping list within the app. The app can recommend quantities based on users' past consumption patterns and family size. It may also offer tips on buying bulk, purchasing items with longer shelf life, or choosing items. Excess food sharing platform. Create a platform within the app where users can list excess food that they're willing to give away. Other users in the vicinity can request the surplus food, promoting community sharing and reducing food waste. The app could also connect with local food banks or shelters to facilitate food donations. Meal planning and leftover utilisation. It helps users organise their weekly meals, encourage users to incorporate leftovers from one meal into the next to minimise food waste, offer recipe ideas for repurposing leftovers creatively, offer educational content on how to reduce food waste, provide information on proper food storage, for composting and food donation locator. Integrate a map feature that shows nearby food banks, shelters or organisations that accept food donations. Users can easily find donation locations and learn about their donation policies. Implement a gamification element where users earn points or rewards for reducing food waste. Organise challenges and community events to engage users actively in the fight against food waste. Analytics. Provide users with insights and analytics on their food waste. Show the collective impact of all app users in terms of food waste, carbon reduction and meals donated. I was just thinking, I actually thought about doing this many years ago. I started the Yes Group in Scotland in 2001, so 22 years ago. And at that stage I was looking at helping people on the streets and so on, because I thought, there's lots of hotels and even the major shops, pret-a-manger and so on, that sell sandwiches and so on. They're throwing a lot of food wastage out, and there must be a lot of homeless people who would appreciate that. And also, I was flying quite a lot at the time, and I was thinking there's a lot of wastage of food. What are all these flight companies doing with all this wastage? And there must be a way of collecting and giving it out to food banks and helping the homeless. And what I discovered, in Scotland at least, is that it wasn't as easy as that, because there are environmental and health and safety issues when it comes to giving away second-hand food. For how eatable is it, and how dangerous is it if it's beyond its sell-by date and so on and so forth, if it wasn't properly refrigerated and things like that. So leftover foods was not a goer in Scotland. I think it might be in Mexico. I think they're less careful about these things. But as I was reading through all this, I was thinking, I wonder if we can tweak the app. So instead of reducing food waste, there might be especially locally in Mexico, there might be something that we could use for donating items of household items when people are going back to the States or whatever country they're from, or also clothes recycling as well. I'm sure there's a lot of people got excess clothes sitting in their wardrobes and so on that the locals would appreciate, or even school books and things like that, even different language books, that might help as well. I don't know, I was just thinking as I was reading through this that food waste might not be the ideal app concept, but what would be a better idea, do you think, for Mexico?
I mean, if we're talking about Mexico specifically, or a country that doesn't have such strict, I guess, food laws like your country or mine, I think it would work. I think the food thing could work. I think a whole app could work. You would
Yeah,
just have to kind of combine it with the other idea that we just read about with, like, scanning if people signed up and they scanned their items when they purchased them, that would keep track of their expiration dates. If it got close to the expiration date, but they knew they weren't going to use it, it could be donated and it can just like put it up for donation, or it
sure.
can automatically go up for donation if, they didn't use it by a certain date kind of thing. They can sign up an app for that.
Hmm.
So it could be, I mean, it just would require a little bit more thought. It's something that I personally think um, would be effective, but might just take a lot of thought and willingness to have several iterations to get it right. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure, sure. I was just thinking as you were speaking there, in Playa del Carmen, one of the most active WhatsApp groups that I keep switched off most of the time because it's so active. I don't want all these notifications. Is
Hmm.
a pay nothing group.
The
So
buy
people are
nothing
all,
group, yeah.
yeah, buy nothing, and people are often offering various items or asking for items and things, and it's very
Yeah.
active. I don't know how many daily messages are put on that, but it's a lot. It's more than a dozen a day anyway, I would say.
Right. So Buy Nothing is a nonprofit grassroots
So,
organization that started in the States, and the WhatsApp group is kind of like an offshoot of that. Um,
okay, I didn't know
but
that.
it's yeah. Um, what am I saying? So basically, it was formed so that communities could share with each other. So if you're within walking distance, like, you shouldn't have to like take a taxi to go pick something up. But if your neighbor, even if it was 3 blocks away, neighbor has something that you need and you're not going to use it, you should be able to share that. And so most of the groups are on Facebook because you can share more easily than on WhatsApp.
Right.
Bigger things or whatever, and have more people in the group. But for the sake of Playa and how Playa functions, WhatsApp is better, so that's why it's on WhatsApp here.
Sure.
But yeah, you can definitely have something similar set up. You can make what Buy Nothing is on Facebook into an app. Like, let's say this platform you already have, you
Yeah.
wanted to have a component where it was like, Buy Nothing ish, that could
Yeah.
be global or as multi-country or whatever. You would just have to have, like, make the community aspect of your what's it called, website more robust so that people can communicate those kind of things on a mass level. But it's doable. It's definitely doable.
Okay.
You're already
Thank you.
halfway there if you're already kind of thinking about it. You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, this last one just made me start thinking about what else could we do with it and what would be more popular than food sharing. Yeah. Okay. So I just put in a buy
Yeah.
nothing mobile app, see what comes up with here. Um, Local sharing community
Mhm.
based on geographic and skills items without monetary transactions. List
Mhm.
the items that no longer need, available for others. Skills, I haven't seen skills and service sharing, um, but okay, offering services like tutoring, pet
Yeah.
sitting, etc. Okay. Um, they can
Yeah. That
lend
would happen
items
in
for
the Buy Nothing
temporary
Facebook group all
use.
the time.
Does
People
it?
would give each
Okay.
other jobs sometimes. Mhm.
Okay. No sales and strict prohibits buying and selling. Okay. I think that's the biggest challenge is a lot of people want to advertise events and things like that where they do want to charge people for attending. So it's a very difficult
Uh-huh.
one to police that and moderate, I think. Um, Rating and review system, interesting, okay. Uh, and help build trust, okay. Messaging and notification offer in-app messaging to communicate with each other about item pickups, returns, other sharing arrangements. Send notifications for new listings, to keep users engaged, moderating community guidelines, respectful and more responsible behaviour. It sounds like it would need to be quite strictly moderated, unfortunately,
Yeah.
because
You definitely would have to do that.
someone would need to get involved and if there's a report on someone not being respectful or whatever, then someone's going to have to be policing it, which is a shame.
Yeah, you
Right,
would
so
need
what?
lawyers.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's fairly easy to moderate groups where you can basically just block the person and ban them from going back in again. But yeah, it's a shame that someone would have to get
I'm just
interfering on a regular
right.
basis. What are you going
Yeah,
to say?
I guess it depends on how strict you want to be with your organization, meaning like, because it would be easy enough for somebody to create a profile, do one thing one time, get banned, and create another one and come back in and do the same thing, right?
That's
So under a different
true.
name, under a different picture, whatever. So like, you would have to like be really strict to like, dissuade people from even wanting to do that because I don't know, maybe your loyalty, they would have to like sign terms and conditions that this event does not have, will not gain any, monetary, whatever kind of thing. And if
Well,
they
there's
do, if it is reported that they did, then they can be sued for, like, not to say you want to sue anybody, but like at the same, something like that
sure.
to really make sure that people don't do it.
Well, there is a feature I think across virtually all these various platforms that where the admin sees the post first before they approve it. So if someone has something to offer, then it has to be approved first before it gets listed. But once it's listed, then you can't really moderate every single comment because that would just get crazy. It'd be like a full-time job, wouldn't it? So
Yeah, but I mean, even if you're talking about, if you're even talking about a group or some kind of app where there's at least 100 to 500 posts a day, who wants to sit there and approve a
yeah,
hundred and to 500 posts a day and
that's
like
what I'm
do it
saying. It's a
diligently
full-time
and make
job.
sure
Yeah,
that they're, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
especially when it's
And
free. Yeah,
24
it's
hour
free of
job. It's not a
charge.
one person thing. Yeah.
That's true.
So you would have to, like, I mean,
Oh
this
my
sounds like
goodness.
something you have to get like a grant for or some kind of like money. You know what I mean? Like, you
Sure.
can probably get a good grant for this, but then you still have to like hire the right people, make sure that it's a lot. It's a worthy cause, but it is a lot.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your input. This is right. It's good to
You're
brainstorm
welcome.
these things rather than just going straight into it, isn't it? What's this say?
Yeah.
Combining ideas, merging ideas, different concepts. Okay, let's see what this one's coming up with. Please suggest a unique fusion of fashion and technology that is used to create a wearable product. Okay, we're moving on then. Let's see what this comes up with. A wearable product. Actually, I think the gaming industry seems to be ahead on a lot of this. Actually, interactive LED dress. A beautiful evening dress made of a smart fabric. It contains embeddable LED lights. Responds to the wearer's movements and external stimuli, making it interactive and a captivating wearable piece. Okay, I think that would go well in nightclubs. I'm not sure if it would go well at a wedding. Motion responsive
I
LEDs.
got
As the wearer walks or dances, the LED lights embedded in the fabric react and create mesmerizing patterns. Okay, or sound activated lights. Okay. Customizable patterns and colors. Yeah, I get that. So they can control it through a mobile app or remote control. Rechargeable and wireless. Yeah, that makes sense. Slim rechargeable pack. Oh, hidden discreetly. Okay. Um, can be charged via USB-C or wireless connectivity. Machine washable, of course. Sustainable products, eco-friendly. Collaboration with designers. Oh, one that I was just asking. Give me 4 more ideas. Biometric smart jewelry. Okay, let's see what that says. With integrated biometric sensors monitoring the wearer's vital signs. Okay, that actually could be useful if you made it more like a medical device where it comes in really useful to monitor things like your body temperature, your stress levels, and so on. That could work. I was thinking about a little ring or something. It's more discreet. Um,
But the
I'm
Apple
sure
Watch
these
does
things are
that,
really
all the
available.
other body markers.
Say again.
the Apple Watch and all the other
Oh,
wearables do that.
oh yeah, yeah, of course, yeah, yeah. Um, Customizable styles, personal safety. Yeah, so you can incorporate emergency alert capabilities. On saying that, my phone was in my back pocket the other day, and I got in the elevator and I glanced at it, and I was like, "Oh, did that somehow set off the emergency alert?" And called my brother. I'm not very sure if I did or not. He didn't contact me to say, "Are you okay?" But I think it was just on the verge of calling him, and I can't even remember how I do that on my phone. So my phone had done something in my backside, in my back pocket, when I wasn't even paying attention. Okay. Fashion accessories like scarves, hats, bands with augmented reality technology, um, revealing digital art patterns or animated effects. Oh, interesting. Okay. Artist collaborations, seasonal themes. Yeah, I mean, it's more of a gaming thing, but I think that could be appealing to some people. Solar powered fashions, yeah. Um, Solar panels harnessing electricity, smartphones, watches, yeah. Um, I know certainly we already have that for backpacks and so on. There's solar paneled backpacks that can, charge your mobile devices, etc. USB charging ports, yeah. Water resistant, of course. 3D printed. Oh, okay. I hadn't thought about 3D printed clothing. Okay. Utilize body scanning technology to create personalized clothing items that fit perfectly. Okay. Sustainable. Contributing more sustainable, yeah. Okay, I can't imagine using any of these, but interested to see what it comes up with. Keeps the imagination flowing, that's for sure. Okay, let's see what the next question is. Overcoming creative blocks. Okay. When you're facing a creative block or struggling to find inspiration, ChatGPT can act as a brainstorming partner, offering prompts, questions, or suggestions that encourage you to think differently or approach from a new angle. So let's say I'm a graphic designer working on a logo for a new organic cafe. Can you provide some design inspiration or concepts? Okay, let's see what this comes up with. Copy, paste. Of course. I like the way it always says, of course. Designing a logo requires capturing the essence of the cafe's values and the organic theme. Here are some depth, inspiration, and concepts. Nature-inspired elements. Incorporate them elements into the logo to represent the cafe's organic focus. You could use leaves, flowers, other plants to symbolize freshness and sustainability. Earthy color palette inspired by earthy tones. These colours evoke a sense of nature to align with the organic theme. Farm-to-table concept, images of a farm or silhouette of a farmer with crops to emphasise the cafe's commitment to sourcing organic and locally produced wholesome organic fruits, vegetables, grains, highlight the cafe's dedication to natural, wholesome ingredients. Choose a font style that balances a friendly, welcoming vibe with a touch of sophistication. Handwritten or custom lettering can add a personal touch. Minimalistic, embrace a minimalistic design to communicate the cafe's simplicity and commitment to natural products. Circular emblems with the cafe's name and organic imagery. Circles can symbolize unity, sustainability, and a sense of community. Sun or tree silhouettes. Incorporate a sun or a tree silhouette into the logo to represent growth, vitality, and the connection to nature. Wordplay. Consider incorporating clever wordplay or visual puns related to organic themes. For example, you could play with the shape of the fruits or vegetables to perform letters in the cafe's name. Sustainable elements integrate subtle symbols of sustainability, such as arrows in a circular loop or recycling symbols to showcase the cafe's commitment to eco-friendly practices. The logo should be versatile and work well in various applications, from signage to business cards to digital media. Take your time to sketch out different ideas. Don't be afraid to experiment with different styles and concepts. It's essential to align the design of the cafe's values and create a visual identity that resonates with its target audience. This is really cool. It's come up with 10 different very, very apt points there, actually, and just showing just how important even something as simple as a logo can be if it's thought about properly. And ultimately, you know, the website and app and all the rest of it is all a work of art. So ultimately, it's all down to you know, the owner's sense of art as well as the person that's creating the logo and so on. But yeah, cool. Subjective ultimately, because it doesn't mean that the customers are going to appreciate how much thought's gone into it. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'm happy with that. Okay. Move this one down. Character and story development. Okay, for writers and storytellers, ChatGPT can assist in creating compelling characters, intriguing plot lines, and immersive settings. Provide AI with a basic outline or character description, and it can generate detailed backstories, plot twists, and potential conflicts to enrich your narrative. That's really good. I like that. Just the wording of that alone. I'm creating a fantasy story with a protagonist who is a skilled magician. Can you provide a backstory for the character and suggest some challenges or conflicts they might face during their journey? Copy, paste. We had a journalist with us last Friday, actually, Boozos. I'm sure she would have appreciated this. Certainly, let's create a backstory and outline some challenges for the skilled magician protagonist. And we've even given them a name, Ilara Moonshadow. Was born in an ancient land, a realm where magic thrived and mystical creatures roamed freely. From a young age, Ilara displayed an innate talent for magic, a gift passed down through generations of her family. She was raised by her wise and powerful grandmother, who was a revered sorceress known for her mastery of elemental magic. Under Seraphina's tutelage, Ilara honed her magical abilities and learned the ancient lore of Arcadia. She became skilled in controlling the elements of fire, water, earth, air, and her powers grew exponentially with each passing year. However, despite her potential, Ilara struggled with doubts about her destiny, feeling burdened by the weight of expectations placed upon her. This is the challenges she has, the vanishing of Arcadia's magic. A once flourishing realm of magic is now witnessing a mysterious decline in magical energy. As Ilara embarks on her journey, she discovers that the source of magic is vanishing, leaving the land vulnerable to darkness and chaos. Her quest becomes twofold: to restore the balance of magic and to understand the cause of its disappearance. The forbidden ancient relic. She learns of an ancient relic hidden deep within the Forbidden Forest, believed to hold the key to restoring Arcadia's magic. However, accessing the relic is fraught with peril, as the forest is guarded by powerful enchanted creatures and illusions meant to deter intruders. Overcoming these obstacles will test Ilara's courage and ingenuity. The Shadow Coven, a malevolent group known as the Shadow Coven, seeks to seize control of the waning magical energy for their nefarious purposes. Led by the dark sorcerer, they believe harnessing Arcadia's magic will grant them the ultimate power over all realms. Ilara finds herself entangled in a dangerous battle against the Shadow Coven, confronting dark forces that threaten to overwhelm her. The trials of the four elements. In her quest to restore Arcadia's magic, Ilara must undergo a series of trials, one for each element she commands. These trials test her mastery of the elements as well as her understanding of the true nature of magic and her own identity. Each trial presents unique challenges, from surviving a torrential storm to navigating treacherous underground caverns of molten lava. The final confrontation, as Ilara delves deeper into the mystery behind the vanishing magic, she discovers the true enemy is closer than she ever imagined. In a heart-wrenching revelation, she must confront the consequences of her choices and decide whether to embrace her destiny as a savior of Arcadia or forge a new path to safeguard its future. Throughout her journey, Ilara grapples with the responsibility that comes with wielding immense power, the complexity of her relationships with allies and adversities alike, and the internal struggle to find her place in a world on the brink of change. As she faces these challenges, Ilara's growth as a magician, as an individual, will shape the fate of Arcadia and the realms beyond. That is very cool. I like that. That's a good start. It's just the backstory for the character. Wow, okay. Where are we going to go from here then? What would be a good question to ask next? I'll just ask that. What would prompt? See what ChatGPT comes up with. Okay, how does Alara's encounter with the mysterious and wise hermit in the enchanted forest impact her journey and understanding of magic? That's cool. Okay, I hadn't thought about that one. Give me another 5.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, here's 5 more prompts to continue exploring Ilara's journey and her experience as a skilled magician. During her trials to master the elements, Ilara faces a personal dilemma that puts her principles at greater good at odds. How does she navigate this moral challenge, and what consequences does her decision have on the quest? In her pursuit to restore Arcadia's magic, Ilara forms an unlikely alliance with a charismatic and mischievous shape-shifting creature. How does this new companion influence her perspective on magic and her approach to the challenges ahead? While confronting the Shadow Coven, Ilara discovers a long-lost secret about her family's lineage and its connection to the origin of the magic in Arcadia. How does this revelation impact her understanding of her own identity and place in the magical realm? As the veil between the immortal world and the magical realm weakens, Ilara must protect the unsuspected humans from the unforeseen consequences of their worlds colliding. How does she balance her duty as a magician with her compassion for those affected? In her quest to save Arcadia, Ilara encounters an ancient and mystical library guarded by a reclusive and wise guardian. What hidden knowledge does she unearth within the library, and how does this knowledge alter the course of her journey? Okay, that could work as well. These prompts offer opportunities to delve deeper into Ilara's character, her growth as a magician, and the challenges she faces along her adventurous path. Feel free to explore any of these prompts or combine elements from multiple prompts to further enrich the narrative of your fantasy story. I like it. What would you ask? Anything?
What do you mean in terms
Anita?
of development of the story?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah. How would you develop the
Okay, I think
story?
there's a delay. I'm not sure, but I do need to jump, so I have to watch the rest of the replay.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. Let me come back to you just now then. You gotta
I
leave just now,
know.
have you?
I just have that meeting
Oh,
at 10. Yeah,
okay. No worries. No
yeah.
worries. Okay. Well, thank you for being here.
But
I'll
okay,
finish this off.
thank you
I'll
for
do
this.
some
This is great.
recording.
No problem.
I'm glad you're appreciating it.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Speak to you soon. Have a good
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay, I'll see you
Okay.
next time.
Okay.
Bye.
See you next week. Ciao
Thank
for
you.
now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Just press the black door at the top. You can exit. Okay. And I'll go back to my screen. Because I was thinking, what else could we do? Actually, what I might just do is give me, give, not 5, give me 12 further chapter ideas to develop this story, not can spell, story with message. What's what I'm looking for? Heart-warming message and hero's journey. Facing multiple moral dilemmas en route. Now, this is really interesting thing about this is I'm just making this up as we're going along, and ChatGPT is just making it up as we go along. But we can create stories that actually will bring people in to this. And as I was reading this today, I was thinking I could just share this, even reading off the screen as a video, and put this out on Facebook or whatever, and people will actually start to become addicted to wanting to hear the next part. So if I just said I'm going to do this every Saturday, for example, then people will go, oh, can't wait for next Saturday, wonder what's the next chapter. Not everybody, of course, but for some people, whether they're reading the screen at the same time or listening to my voice reading through it for them, something that's keeping it fairly short. We don't need to do the whole book at one go, but it gives us brand new content. We can create articles for this, creating blog posts, etc. And what I just did here is give 12 chapter ideas, and it should be, the chapters should take us through a story, basically a journey, I should say. So the first one's the call, and then the wisdom, and then the trials beginning, a pact, cursed valley, unseen guardian, revelations in the library, the heart of the coven, the price of power, a crossroad of loyalties, the final showdown, and the restoration where she succeeds at all, and so on and so forth. And then, as you can see, this, like chapter 10, for example, that's all there is to it. It's got one short paragraph. So what we would want to do is not share all the chapters in advance, but keep a note of all these chapters, put it in our own notepad or whatever, and then just simply say, okay, now elaborate on chapter 1. And just let ChatGPT do its thing. Here we go. As the sun set over the horizon, so it knows what chapter 1's called, casting a warm golden glow across the lush valleys of Arcadia, a whispering breeze carried with it the stirring of ancient magic. Within the quaint cottage nestled at the edge of the enchanted forest, Elara Moonshadow gazed out of her window, her eyes drawn to the ever-changing colours of the sky. Little did she know that this serene evening marked the beginning of an extraordinary journey that would test her abilities, courage, and very essence of her being. Just as she was about to retire for the night, a sudden rustle of parchment caught her attention. A mystical letter materialized on her table, its ink shimmering with a celestial glow. Elara reached for the letter, her heart pounding with curiosity and trepidation. It was written in ancient runes, foretelling of a fading magic that threatened the harmony of Arcadia. The words spoke of a chosen one, a skilled magician, destined to restore the dwindling magical energies to their former glory. As she read the prophecy, Elara felt a mixture of awe and disbelief. She had always known her affinity for magic was extraordinary, but to be the one chosen for such a monumental task felt surreal. Doubts have gnawed at the edges of her mind. Was she truly worthy of this destiny? Could she live up to the expectations placed upon her? The weight of the prophecy seemed almost too heavy to bear. Yet, beneath her uncertainty, Elara recognized a deep yearning, a longing to understand the magic that flowed through her veins and to protect the land she held dear. With determination in her heart, she decided to embark upon this quest, to embrace the unknown and discover the true extent of her powers. The following morning, before the first rays of dawn graced the sky, Elara bid farewell to her grandmother, Serafina, who had guided and nurtured her magical talents. Serafina's knowing gaze spoke volumes, a mixture of pride, love, and the wisdom that comes with age. Remember, my dear Elara, Serafina said with a gentle smile, true magic resides not only in spells and incantations, but in the depths of your heart and the strength of your convictions. Elara nodded, her resolve firm as she set out on her journey. The forest whispered words of encouragement, and the creatures of Arcadia seemed to sense the significance of her quest, guiding her towards the heart of the enchanted forest. As the ancient trees loomed above her, Elara felt a sense of wonder and reverence. The forest held secrets as old as time itself, and it was here among the dancing leaves and dappled sunlight that she would begin her search for answers. The path ahead was uncertain, but Elara knew she was not alone. The spirits of the forest, the stars above, and the magic within her would guide her steps.